Law 11, the offsides rule. The trickiest and dumbest rule, in my opinion, in soccer.
Wow.
I hate this rule.
Bold.
It's stupid.
Okay, wow.
People are going to be very angry at me, but I think this is the dumbest rule.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's difficult for most bystanders to understand, and in my opinion, like I said, the dumbest. The basic concept is that a player must be at least one defender, not including the goalie, between him and her and the goal when the ball is played to him when he is on the opponent's side gaining an advantage. So basically, I have to have a different player of the opposition between me and the goal, not directly. They just have to be closer to the goal than I am, but linearly closer to the goal line more than just the goal itself, before the ball is passed. I cannot be past that person in which an action for a pass starts heading my way. So it is only offsides. Like, I can stand there and it's not offsides, but once action is directed towards the player, that's when offsides would be called.
Wait, but doesn't that remove an entire layer of strategy of getting... Wouldn't you want to pass to someone who is close to the goal? Wouldn't the other team just like, well, we're never going to get that close, and therefore they can't get close?
This is why I say it's the dumbest rule.
What?
Because it's advantageous for the defense to play out of position and forward, because then they can step in front of a player who's the furthest forward, so that when a pass is played, then they are officially ruled offsides because they were closer to the goal than the defender was.
But that's so arbitrary. There's only one ref. He can't be in all places. How could he objectively...
The assistant sidelines. The sideline, that's where the assistant officials come in.
Oh, okay. All right, sure.
They're the ones that call offsides because they're running down the sideline and they're designated for each side. But again, you understand my problem here.
Yeah.
It is in the defensive favor to move out of position to be defending the goal, because then a penalty would be called for offsides if that person then got past the ball.
What if the entire defending team is on the other side of the field?
Doesn't matter.
What? Can you do that?
Technically, every single player on the field can be across the midline on offense if you want to.
Then
it's usually never done because it's disadvantageous to have your goalie completely out. But
well, not that disadvantageous. If everyone on the other team is closer,
now,
how would they even ever stop them?
Well, there is a rule because offsides in soccer has to happen on the attacking side of the field. So it has to be on that half. Basically, the rule states that players are offsides if they become involved in active play when any part of their head, body, or feet is nearer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second to last opponent.
Okay.
And they have to be on their opponent's half of the field to be offsides.
Okay. All right. It just seems very arbitrary, but I guess maybe I could. I don't know. I don't know enough. I can't make a judgment. It does seem silly, but I'm an idiot. So what do I know?
Yeah, I hate it because it's advantageous for a defender to be out of position. So yeah, that's why I don't like the offsides rule. I'm like, the details of it are beside the point. You can be in an offsides position but not be called for offsides by being on the other side. But once you are past the ball, then an offsides would be called. And you become involved in active play according to the rules as soon as the ball is passed. So like, I could be right next to a defender, and this is why it kind of makes sense. I could be right next to a defender, but once the ball is passed, I can sprint past the defender once that action is taking place. That way I can get an advantage, but it's about timing and strategy in that front. But it's still like, as a defender, it's like, oh, I see you there. I'm going to step 2 steps forward so that if they pass you the ball, you're offsides.
Yeah, I could see that too. Okay, interesting.
At the same time, you're betting on the officials to catch it and notice that they were offsides.
Right.
So a lot of times offsides does get called pretty frequently, and it does happen. I just think it's a dumb rule because it's, from a strategic standpoint, if I'm on defense, it gives me an advantage to be out of position, as opposed to like in basketball where I'm like, I'm going to stay between you and the basketball hoop.
Yeah, I get that. It seems like it incentivized the wrong type of gameplay that you would want, but what do I know?
But it is a way to avoid, like, to deter cherry picking. I actually, like a month ago, I got in an argument with a person about the fact that I think offsides is really stupid on the internet, but I felt like I won the argument.
Okay, all right. So long as you felt like that, that's all that matters.